Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hey, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Would like to welcome you all for His Holiness Candramauli Swami Maharaj's daily call. Please accept my humble obeisances. Maharaj has joined us, and Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Today we are doing the Chaitanya Charitamrita Adilila 7.23. Let me share my screen. Can you see? Guru?
Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vinda Patra Patra Vichara Nahi Nahi Stana Stana Ye Yaha Papa Tanha Kara Prema Dana. In distributing love of Godhead, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates did not consider who is a fit candidate and who was not, nor where such distribution should or should not take place. They made no conditions. Whenever they got the opportunity, the members of the Panchatattva distributed love of Godhead. Purport: there are some rascals who dare to speak against the mission of Lord Chaitanya by criticizing the Krishna conscious movement for accepting Europeans and Americans as brahmanas and offering them sannyas. But here is an authoritative statement that in distributed love of God, one should not consider whether the recipients are Europeans, Americans, Hindus, Muslims, etc. Krishna conscious movement should be spread wherever possible, and one should accept those who thus become Vaishnavas as being greater than Brahmanas, Hindus, or Indians. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu desired that his name be spread in each and every town and village on the surface of the globe. Therefore, when the cult of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is spread all over the world, should those who embrace it not be accepted as Vaishnavas, Brahmanas, and Sannyasis? These foolish arguments are sometimes raised by envious rascals, but Krishna-conscious devotees do not care about them. We strictly follow the principles set down by the Panchatattva. Om Gyan Timidandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chaksun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Vimakte Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gorvani Pacharine Niversisa Sunyavari Paschatya Satarine Vancha Kalpratarubhishcha Kripa Sindhu Pahevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Vasari Gauda Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. It's not easy to understand the heart of Lord Chaitanya. In fact, it's impossible. But his heart is full of compassion for all fallen souls, and he wants to give anyone and everyone the opportunity to reach the highest form of spiritual attainment, pure love of God. Therefore, this Sankirtan movement is the means by which they can achieve that highest stage of love of God. And those who do not understand it, who follow some statements in the scriptures that do not apply to Lord Chaitanya's movement, they are ignorant, ultimately. They have no idea who Lord Chaitanya is. Actually, not too many people, even those in India, are aware of who Lord Chaitanya is. Some people say he's just a great devotee of Krishna because he acted in that role. Rather than coming out as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he played the role of the perfect, pure devotee. And people accept him as that. But that was simply a role for teaching. That's all. And for practicing at the same time. Lord Chaitanya took the position of his own pure devotee and exhibited love of God from that position to both teach and to exhibit his own desire to taste love of Godhead from the position of the devotee of himself. So it's very difficult to understand Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu unless you hear from authorized sources. And that is from those who fall in the line of Lord Chaitanya, the Brahma Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, coming from Lord Brahma. And Lord Chaitanya doesn't discriminate. We see and we hear the pastimes of the Lord as a leper who was full of leprosy. Because he had a little attraction to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and chanted the holy name, the Lord, they gave him love of God. Because many of his devotees who were there during his present time simply pleased him by their exhibition of devotion, he gave them love of God. Lord Chaitanya appears in three ways to different people in three manifestations of itself. One is called Avesh. Another is called, let me think, Avesh. Well, one way is that he appears personally to them. Another way is that he empowers a great devotee to act on his behalf. And that devotee is, anyone who serves that devotee, it's as good as serving Lord Chaitanya. And then in another, he, the third way, I'm trying to think of the third way. There's three ways he he manifests himself to others. The third one is he can't remember the third way. But these are the ways that Lord Chaitanya distributed his love of God, and he performs the Sankirtan movement himself to give the example on how one should practice Krishna consciousness in this age. Krishna Varnam, Tvasa Krishna, Sangupanga, Swabarshadam, Yagyai Sankirtanai Prayai, Yajanti Hi Sumedhasaha. Those who are actually intelligent take up this chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, the Harinam Sankirtan movement. Sumedhasa, Medhasa means intelligence, Su means one who has good medhasa. Those who don't take it up, they have Alpa Medhasa. Alpa means meager intelligence, or as Prabhupada so nicely said, brain is filled with cow dung, that's all. So those who actually understand their best interests will follow the example of Lord Chaitanya and take part in this Sankirtan movement. Because not only does it purify oneself and raise one to the highest platform of spiritual realization, but it pleases Lord Chaitanya. Yeah. That's the three principles that's mentioned in the Chaitanya Charitamrita in chapter 10. I believe it's verse 56, somewhere in that area. Thank you. Put that back up again, just so we can see it again. The three manifestations of Lord Chaitanya's mercy. Whoever said it, put it up again. Okay, so this is, Saksad, directly, Avesh, empowered, Avirbhava, that means through others, but not directly. So anyway, we see the example of how Jagai, Madai, two very most envious and most demoniac, not demoniac, but most sinful personalities received love of Godhead from Lord Nityananda and Lord Chaitanya. This was the pinnacle of their teaching, that Jagai and Madai have received full mercy. Even Yamaraj, when he found out how Jagai and Madai had been uplifted, he fainted in ecstasy. And for Yamaraj to faint is not easy. He's a very sober personality. So yeah, this is Lord Chaitanya. Namo Mahavadhanaya Krishna Prema Padayate. Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namadi Gauda Tristinama. Namo Mahavandhanaya. Most magnanimous, most merciful. What is he doing? He's giving Krishna Prema to everyone through this Sankirtan movement. Those who take it up, their intelligence. Those who don't take it up, they are missing the opportunity for eternal life. And the process of Sankirtan is susukam kartam avyayam. It's joyful. People pay money to go to nightclubs to sing and to dance. And for them to dance, they have to get intoxicated. So when they do that, and they spend a lot of money, Prabhupada says, in some nightclubs, they pay $50 or more just to get in the door. And then they spend more money on wine and women when they're inside. And they get in a little intoxicated and they drink. They drink and they get more intoxicated. So they just waste their life. But devotees know how to enjoy life by singing, dancing, and eating nice Krishna prasadam. That's the essence of Lord Chaitanya's teaching. Therefore, no one can understand his magnanimity. Prabhupada illustrated that in many times when he was speaking about Lord Chaitanya, and he would glorify Lord Chaitanya, and then he would fall into a state of internal mood. I'm thinking about Lord Chaitanya. He would remain quiet, and then tears would come to his eyes, just thinking about how kind, how merciful, how compassionate, how easily available Lord Chaitanya is to the conditioned soul. And he is the Supreme Lord. Not only is he Krishna, but he's a combination of Krishna along with the internal mood of his internal energy, Srimati Radharani, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nahiyanya. Lord Chaitanya appears once in every 1,000 Kali Yugas. Think about that. This happens to be the Kali Yuga that he appears in it. After this Kali Yuga ends, he won't come back for another 1,000 Kali Yugas, which is 4,320,000,000 years. So it's rare to have the opportunity to take birth in the same time when the Lord Chaitanya is present on this Earth planet. And to take part in his movement is also very, very, one who does is very, very fortunate. It's easy, it's direct, and it's joyful. Chant and dance. Even if you can't dance for some reason, you can at least, you can dance in your heart with your arms raised up in the air and sing the glories of the Lord. So this is very, and those who were followers of Lord Chaitanya, they are so inspired by this movement, and they want to please Lord Chaitanya more and more by distributing the same mercy to others. And Lord Chaitanya becomes very pleased with such a person, and he gives them his own spiritual Shakti. Anyone who takes up Lord Chaitanya's mission and tries to uplift the conditioned souls by taking them into the realm of chanting and dancing is a very special personality. And they are very dear to the Lord, and to become dear to the Lord is not so easy. Everyone's dear to the Lord, but there's those who are especially dear. These are the ones that take up his mission and distributed his mission everywhere. Srila Prabhupada did that at great sacrifice in order to give the whole world this mercy. And he accepted the criticism, as it mentions here, from those who are ignorant, saying that Europeans and Americans, who are they? They cannot take sannyas, they cannot be brahmanas. But Lord Chaitanya doesn't make any distinction. He goes even beyond that, even Hindus, Muslims, or people from any background. Kirata Hunam Palinda Pukasam, Sambira Yavana Kashade. Even those in the lower races in the material realm, they can also chant and dance. Sometimes when we have kirtan, we see such people drift into the kirtan. They don't know what's happening, but they get some taste by hearing the holy name, and they start singing and jumping also. Anyone who sings in kirtan is guaranteed a human birth in their next life. And anyone who takes this up will actually eventually reach the goal of Krishna conscious Prema Pumartha Mahan. So Prabhupada wants to make a clear point here. Yeah, people will criticize. They will find fault. They'll even quote scripture to back up their enviousness. But still, as it says here, we don't care for them because we know what we're doing. We're following the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and that is fine. Prabhupada used to say, whatever Krishna says, that's all we need to know. We don't care what anybody else says. And that's a fact. When you know what the Lord wants and how he wants it to happen, then everything becomes wonderful. And this movement is destined to spread all over the world. How fast, it's up to the devotees who are present now to make it happen. The more devotees who jump on board and take up this activity of chanting and dancing and also spread it in different ways, will accelerate the movement of Lord Chaitanya. It can happen very fast, or it can happen in a long period of time. It depends on the devotees, but it'll happen. Krishna, Lord Chaitanya is just looking to empower those devotees who want to do this work by giving them his special mercy so they can reach the conditioned souls. And one who takes it up will be what we say eternally benefit. And Srila Prabhupada took it up in a very direct way, and he spread it not only in America, but throughout the entire world. And it's spreading fast. It's spreading not fast enough. Just like Prabhupada told us when he was personally present, he said, we could take over the whole world in 18 days, but you're not ready. That means we weren't up to the standard at that time to accept the mercy of the Lord and to make that mercy available to others. But he said, this movement is it's personally guided and it's personally empowered by God himself, the Supreme Personality of God. This is not just another religious movement on the planet. This is a movement to purify the whole world by glorifying the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by chanting his holy names, and living according to the teachings given by Lord Chaitanya, which are the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam. This is our movement. It's joyful, and it is available for anyone who wants to take it up. But we have to become serious about it. We can't put it on the back shelf and let it sit there and just take it whenever we want. We have to make it our most important activity. And when we do that, everything in our life, whatever else we're trying to achieve, becomes automatically achievable simply by the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because when the Lord is pleased with his devotees, then he fulfills all their desires for their own development, even on the material level. I was telling one devotee, I won't mention his name, he's looking for a wife, and so far he hasn't had any success, although there have been many girls coming in and out of his association. He's not satisfied. I said, stop looking and just gaze in preaching, and then Krishna will send you that girl that you're looking for. And it's a matter of time, it'll happen. I've seen that happen so many times. As soon as we put Krishna first, all of our other plans that we can't somehow actualize manifest by the mercy of the Lord, as long as they're not sinful, of course. This is how kind Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is. So you'll see in Chaitanya Charitamrita, as you go through the text, especially this chapter here, Prabhupada will speak about what is the standard and what is not the standard, to give us a clearer and more direct understanding of how to act in Krishna consciousness, and not to be swayed by people who have positions, who can speak very nicely, but have no knowledge, and who by nature envious of the Krishna consciousness movement. Okay, so we can stop there and open it up for questions. Chanting, dancing, and taking Krishna Prasadam is our life. It's the life of our life. Anyone who does it will understand, yes, why didn't I do it earlier?
Thank you so much, Guru Maharaj. We experienced that in the retreat so much. It was amazing.
I remember when I was in Poland, I was delivering one lecture. This was back in the 1900s. It was actually 1996. I was delivering a lecture in Poland to one large group of people who were regularly having a satsang in one area of Poland. And there was over 100 people who had came for that satsang. During my lecture, after the lecture, I called for questions. And of course, I don't understand Polish, and there was a translator there. So we called on one man who could speak only Polish, but he was so emotional in expressing himself that I practically understood what he was saying. It was coming strictly from his heart. And he was just speaking so emotionally. And there was a certain sadness along with his emotion. And then I'm listening and I can understand there's something he's saying that is really relevant to the practice of Krishna consciousness. And then the interpretation or the translator gave me the translation. And the man said, I'm 45 years old. And now, after 45 years, I've come to this Krishna consciousness. I just wasted my whole life. Why didn't I find this earlier? And he's lamenting. He's lamenting that he didn't come in contact with Krishna consciousness earlier. And he's going over and over again, expressing how terrible he feels by wasting 45 years of his life without Krishna consciousness. And of course, I responded. I said, of course, it's never too late. Start now. And it's like and then you can still achieve the goal of life. And so, so we meet people who express that. Why didn't I do it earlier? Or why didn't I become more serious? The worst thing that could possibly happen to a devotee is that when they're leaving their body, they'll say, boy, I wish I would have spent more time with Krishna instead of wasting my time with so many material affairs. That's the greatest lamentation. At the end of life, thinking, oh, why didn't I spend more time doing devotional service? Why did I waste time on things that ultimately are all destroyed in the elements of time? Yeah. Anyway, questions?
Thank you so much. Yeah. I think that's so many people like us, Lord, are feeling the same, that we should do more. We are not doing that much. But yeah, we are trying. We are trying. Dear devotees, please keep your videos on. That'll be so nice to see you, everyone. Take your darshan. And if you have any questions, please raise your hands or type in the chat. I will read for you.
Okay. Okay, Krishna Kaviraj, let's hear the question.
I don't think I have any questions, because I just think that ever since I come back from the retreat, I just feel like charging. I just find like, do more chanting and you want more chanting, do more reading and you want more reading, do more service and you want more service. And anything that you do, you just want more. And I just like, I don't know, I don't have any questions. I love it.
Well, you have come to the point of getting all the answers to all your questions. Simply by that statement. Yeah. Krishna consciousness is like that. It's so nice, you want more. But you have to give it some priority in your life. If you don't give it priority, you'll never be able to understand it. Okay. Sri Devi, I'm sure you must have a question there. Okay. Sri Devi's got her hand up.
Yes, Gurudev Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Can you hear me, Sukhabaha?
Yes, yes, very clearly.
Oh,
We can
thank
hear
you.
you around the world, yeah.
Sorry, I'll tone down. Please accept my humble obeisances, Maharaj. All glories to you, Prabhupada. All glories to you, Guru Maharaj, for uplifting us I have a question about the material energy. In spite of knowing that the material energy is always changing, always giving so much trouble to the living entity, why is it that we feel pleased when things are going well? Oh, I could do this, I could do that, whatever. And the moment there's a reverse, we feel, oh no, why did this have to happen? Everything should have gone all nicely, etc. Why do I get so affected by the ups and downs of the material energy in spite of knowing that that's the way it is?
Yeah. So we spoke about that about a week ago, if you remember in the class. The waves of material energy and that give you some jubilation and then they give you some frustration. So one who is moved by either, one who is moved by happiness and distress cannot really practice Krishna consciousness properly because happiness and distress will come in different forms. But for a devotee who's fixed in Krishna consciousness, they don't accept it as happiness and distress. They accept it as the changing waves of the material energy. Sometimes the river is raging and moving. Sometimes the river is very calm and still. Same river. So we don't give it much attention or any attention. We stay fixed in our Krishna consciousness. That's all. One who's moved by these things cannot really understand how Krishna consciousness works, because these things have nothing to do with Krishna consciousness. They're just the features of the material energy. Well, material energy works in a certain way. It brings success and material success, and then it wipes it away with something else. You're healthy one day, the next day you're diseased. What can you do? That's the nature of the material energy. Accept it, move on, stay fixed in Krishna. If Prabhupada had to go through a lot of what we say ups and downs, mostly a lot of downs, but he didn't let that disturb him in his execution of Krishna consciousness. He said, I had to walk through fire to spread this movement. I didn't look left, I didn't look right, I looked straight ahead. So a devotee keeps their focus on Krishna and devotional service. And the material energy will move and not move. Sometimes there's torrential rain, sometimes excessive heat, sometimes there's excessive cold. These things are part of material energy. Martas sparsus tu kunteya, sitnosna sukadukada, agapayino nityas tamstitiksuva bharatan. The non-permanent appearance and happiness and distress are like the appearance and disappearance of the winter and summer season. They rise from sense perception of ski and abart, and one should learn to tolerate them without becoming disturbed.
But
That's
these
one of
things
the first.
interfere with our. Yes, yes. But
No,
these things
nothing
interfere
to.
with our performance.
No, never. Never, never, never. Because you can always do devotional service in any situation. Devotional service is not touched by the material energy, provided you may have to switch your service because of situation, but you can always stay fixed in devotional service.
So it's just a
You
question of
may,
saying, oh, okay, it's raining. I cannot go out on book distribution. Let me listen to a lecture instead, rather than feeling frustrated or upset.
all right, well, yeah, you can always do some kind of devotional service. Though you can always
So it's a
chant the holy
question of
names.
being flexible. So
No,
it's just a question of being.
no, it's not a question of being flexible. It's a question of being intelligent. That's all. Seeing, all right, this is the situation. but let me stay connected to Krishna in some form.
Mm.
That's all. And you can always chant. There's no, as long as
Yes.
you can always chant.
Thank you.
And actually, even to take it on a higher level, reverses in Krishna consciousness are opportunities for spiritual advancement. If you see it that way.
Yes. Right. Right. Yeah, sometimes the frustration comes when you cannot perform devotional service the way you want to. But now I understand that one must plug into another service or doing something differently because of the circumstances.
Yeah. But even sometimes Prabhupada never did that. He kept on going in the same way, despite whatever was going on.
Hmm. Yes, Guru Maharaj, something to mull over and absorb the message. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
So no.
Yes, sir.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my obeisances. My obeisances to all the devotees, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. So Maharaj, does that mean that when you are about these distress and happiness as well, we have transcended the modes of nature, and that's what the position which we are ideally aspiring for?
Yeah, that mentions that in the Bhagavad Gita. Na paresya priyam praptya no jujeb cha priyam stira bhuhir samudam brahmavid brahmana stira. Turn to that verse 520 in Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah. Okay, Guru Maharaj, I will do that.
Yeah. But the problem is, Sono, we're attached. Because we're attached, we get distressed or frustrated. Therefore, you have to learn to be attached to Krishna, not to attach to your own plans for happiness.
So the focus of happiness, so you need to first of all learn how to get happiness by practicing Krishna consciousness. You need to be happy in that service, doing service more than your material happiness.
Well, devotional service is sukuk susukam kartamavyayam. It's happy. Okay, Sono, you want to read this one?
Yes, a person who neither rejoices upon achieving something pleasant or laments upon obtaining something unpleasant, who is self-intelligent, who is unbewildered, and who knows the science of God, is already situated in transcendence.
Yeah, so that means they're on the transcendental platform. They're not bewildered by happiness and distress. They stay fixed in their devotional service, and they use their intelligence to continue in their execution of devotional service despite whatever's going on. What are you going to do at the time? The question is, what are we going to do at the time of death when the bodily functions are not functioning anymore? Are we going to say, oh, this is so distressful? No, we have to keep your consciousness focused on Krishna. So experiencing ups and downs in this life helps to prepare yourself for the ultimate test, which is to leave this body. Then you can't complain, oh, this is so bad. No, it's happening. Everybody has to go through it. And then you leave the body in Krishna consciousness, and then you attain perfection. But if you get distressed, if you get distressed at the time of death and forget Krishna and focus on what's happening, then you miss the whole opportunity, and then you have to take birth again. So life is preparing us for death, that's all.
Yeah. So Maharaj, now this is just connecting the threads. Last week you were mentioning about the karma as well, either good, because once you do action, there will be some sort of reaction, either good or bad. Like we were discussing about this pigeon instance, whether what to do with the pigeon and pigeon nest. So regardless of that, we will have to act, and we should be ready to tolerate even the bad reactions without losing the focus. Is it right?
Yeah, but for a devotee, there's no karma. But some devotees are still dealing with their residual karma, so that will come, but it'll stop in due course of time. But as long as you're engaged in devotional service, you're not creating any karma. You're on the platform of akarma. Akarma means that activity that doesn't bring any material results. That, and then we should focus on devotional service and just accept the results of our previous karma as some means for purification. That's it.
Mm.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Maharaj.
These are facts of life. It's not something I'm creating. Krishna says this material world is dukkhalayam asasratam. It's temporary, it's miserable. When Krishna says it's temporary, miserable, you can't debate it. You can't try to create another idea based on what he says. You take it as it is. He says it's temporary and it's miserable. Where's the happiness in the material world? The happiness in the material world is a relief from suffering in the material world. So when we're not suffering, we call it happy.
That is more dangerous, because you feel that you are happy and you want to stay in that state, and which doesn't last. Yeah.
Well, stay the way you are. You always look happy.
Application is difficult, Maharaj.
Okay, it was easy, but it does work if you apply it.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah,
for the
and the
question.
easiest thing is just remember Krishna. That's it. Prasida Chaitanya Prabhu.
Yeah, Siddha Chaitanya Prabhu.
Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances in your lotus feet, Guru Maharaj. Guru Maharaj, as we know, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is said he's a Mahavadanyaya. Without any discrimination, he given Harinam to everyone without any discrimination. And I'm realizing, and because I heard some pastime of Srila Prabhupada, and he also had to face so many problems, and he was so hard and tough for the Mayavadi and Nirvisheshwadi, and he was so kind for his disciples. And one of the pastime I heard from you only that he that when the Jagannath temple his disciple was not permitted to enter, and from that onward he did not he never enter in Jagannath. So could you please share that pastime if because in our entire parampara everyone had to face same criticism, and Prabhupada had has had
Prabhupada wanted to make a point. When Prabhupada came to Jagannath Puri in 1977, he was honored by many of the personalities there, especially many of the authorities in the Jagannath temple. He was given a grand reception. They let him speak. But when he spoke what he felt. He said, Jagannath is not, he's Jagannath, he's not Hindu Nath. He is the Lord of Jagat, which means all living entities, not just Hindus. He's not, what does he call it? He's not Hindu Nath, he's not Puri Nath, he's Jagannath. Jagat means universe. He's the Lord of the universe. That means all living beings. So Prabhupada was making a point, and he said, and they wanted Prabhupada to come into the temple. He said, because you are not allowing my disciples to go in, I will not go in also. But he was making a point to instruct them that, yes, you claim you're worshiping Jagannath, but you're not worshiping Jagannath. You're worshiping Hindunath. He's not Hindunath.
Even Guru Maharaj, I heard one in a recent news that some guru was criticizing Prabhupada, and he was telling that Prabhupada even told to Ramakrishna Paramhans that he was rascal, who is the guru of Vivekanand. So is it he has said something to Ramakrishna Paramhans also?
You're interested in all of these things, aren't you?
Okay, actually, I had in a recent news only.
The Prabhupada's
Guru Maharaj.
lectures. You listen to Prabhupada's lectures, he'll make a distinction. He's making a point. He's saying, I'm not saying it. Krishna says, Avajanti Mambudha Manusim Taranamvatam Param Brahma Magyananto Mama Bhuta Maheshwar. Fools deride me when I appear in my transcendental form. They do not know my transcendental nature, my supreme divine. Nam Prakasha Sarvashat Yoga Maya Samudbitaha. I'm covered by my curtain of Maya to those persons who are envious. So people are envious of God, or they want to become God, or they act as a great saint in order to get some followers. I'm not going to speak about Ramakrishna or Vivekananda or any of them. Just listen to Srila Prabhupada because he gives it in a clear and non-committal way. He's not speaking from personal interest. He's simply speaking what Krishna speaks. That's it. He's showing the difference between what is real spirituality and what goes on as pretense. The greatest form of cheating is someone who comes in the form of the reality. Just like if you see a person who is a thief, but he's dressed up as a policeman, then you're in trouble. Because you see him as a policeman to give protection, but he's a thief and he'll cause you harm. So these people present themselves in one way as being great spiritualists, and they can do something. They have some understanding of Vedas and all like, but what is their motivation? Personal interest. Prabhupada had no personal interest. That's why he was so successful. That's the glory of Srila Prabhupada. It's not because anything else, because Prabhupada had no personal interest. He simply wanted to glorify Krishna and spread the mission of Krishna everywhere. He wasn't trying for any position, power, glory, remuneration, anything. He was Krishna's perfect representative to represent Krishna as Krishna wanted to be represented. That's why we're hearing now about the glories of Prabhupada more than ever before when Prabhupada was present, because Krishna is now glorifying Prabhupada around the world. Krishna is showing his love for his devotee by glorifying Srila Prabhupada, by making him now the center of our glorious Krishna conscious movement. And people are learning about Prabhupada. And honest, intelligent people are appreciating who this great personality is. Selfless, totally selfless. You don't find that anywhere. So when Krishna Prabhupada speaks strongly, he's just showing what is not the reality. Nowadays, many of the spiritualists, they say, this is what I'm teaching, but still, you can do this, you can do that, you can eat whatever you like, You can go wherever you like, but just, follow me. Prabhupada said no. Prabhupada's teaching according to Vedic scriptures and applying it according to Krishna's teaching in Bhagavad Gita. You have to know more about Prabhupada before you can quote the statements he makes in relationship to others. Otherwise, it just looks like Prabhupada just criticizing everybody, but he's not. He's making a point to expose those who are pretentious and not genuine and showing what is the reality. And he did that a lot because people don't know. People don't know.
Mm.
He even said to scientists, they're cheating everybody.
Mm.
He exposed the scientists too, and many times he was right. The world is full of cheaters. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati said, there's two kinds of people in the world, cheaters and the cheaters. So we're either being cheated or you are a cheater. That's in the material world. When you come to Krishna consciousness, things are different.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Prabhupada was
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
exposing the cheaters. That's it.
True.
And that is why he's a Yogacharya and Krishna is glorifying. Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much.
Listen to Prabhupada more. Every day, turn on Srila Prabhupada's lecture. Then you'll start to understand more about this personality. There's
Yes,
two
Prabhu.
parts to
Guru Maharaj,
understand. There's two
Yes.
parts to understanding Prabhupada. The
Yes.
personality of Prabhupada and the knowledge that he's given. It's not enough to understand just the knowledge he gives. You have to understand his personality too. Because if you just the philosophy and not the person, you'll become dogmatic. And if you understand just the person and not the philosophy, you'll become sentimental.
Mm.
You need both.
Yes.
Take time to understand the personality of Prabhupada, just like we're trying to understand the personality of Krishna also.
Mm.
The philosophy
Thank you,
is not
Maharaj.
enough. We have to understand the person behind the philosophy.
True. True.
Guru Maharaj.
Okay, thank you.
Raj Prabhu.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. Maharaj, you spoke that if we make Krishna our first priority, then all our material desires, even the
You on
Well,
mute.
I should clarify that. I
Yeah.
should clarify that statement. The clarification is that when Krishna is pleased, if you want something material that will help you in your life, he'll give it to you. But if there's something in your life materially that you want that will not help you, such as something that takes you away from Krishna consciousness, he won't give it. He works for the interest of the devotee. So in general, just like Krishna likes to do things for his devotees. When Prahlad Maharaj, came to Nrsingadev after his father was killed, the Lord was so pleased with Prahlad, he just kept asking Prahlad, take a benediction, take a benediction. Lord Chaitanya, when he was in the Mahaprakash Leela, he became really super magnanimous, and he asked each and every one of his devotees to ask anything they want. Whatever you want, just ask for it. And so, yeah, and people were saying, make my father a devotee, make my friend a devotee. So if there's something on the material level, that you want, but you have pushed it aside in favor of your Krishna consciousness. And Krishna said, oh, all right, they want that. They're serving so nicely. That's Krishna. But he won't give you anything that's going to interfere with your life. He won't give you something that's going to make your life difficult, that's for sure. Or your spiritual life difficult, either one. That Krishna knows everything, past, present, and future. Okay, did he disappear?
Yeah, I
find
think
him.
his internet gone. Seems like internet issue.
Hari, are you still there? Shiva Hare. Where did he go? He must be around somewhere.
Can't see him.
Let me see if I can.
He's not on the list
Well,
at the moment. He must have
yeah,
dropped
he's
off.
there.
Oh, there he came.
No,
He came back. He came back.
So Raj, you want to continue with your question?
Maharaj, I'm really sorry, I lost my connection in between. So my question was that, is it a low standard to think like this, that if I keep Krishna at my first priority, or I help devotees in preaching programs, my material desires will be fulfilled? Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "Na janam, na janam, na dhanam, na janam."
No, you don't. You
So
don't think. No, that's not the way you think. That's approaching Krishna for something material. But if and maybe you missed what I said. If you push aside your material desires and you focus on Krishna and you engage in devotional service, Krishna might just, he does it. He will give you something of your material desire. You're not asking for it. You're pushing it aside and you're just serving him. You're forgetting about it, but he doesn't forget about it. It doesn't happen all the time, but it does happen. It's not an absolute principle because Krishna works for the benefit of the devotee. For the spiritual progress of the devotee. So to think like that is material. Nadanam, najanam, nasunam. Yes.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. I got the answer.
Thank you.
Thank you for nice question, Prabhu. Sridevi Mataji.
I was again thinking about the ups and downs, Guru Maharaj. Sorry, I'm just hung up on that because it's a big challenge for me. What is the best way for gaining emotional stability and becoming fixed in Krishna consciousness?
You should find a Krishna conscious friend and live with that person instead of living alone. That way you'll get you get more support in dealing with the ups and downs.
Mm-hmm.
In your case, I won't speak about you on a personal level because I don't think it's important for devotees to hear that. But I think you need someone with you in your life to constantly be with. I would say, a nice friend, Krishna conscious lady friend that you can associate with, serve with, and work with in Krishna consciousness. when you're alone,
So a
the
nice group of
tendency of the
devotees to
mind
be
is to
with, and to nice group of devotees to be with, to serve it together, to have a common initiative to work for, like
to
that,
live with,
like the to live
to
it.
live with, to live with. That because I know you, and therefore I know how the waves of material energy have a way to affect you. You need some grounding, and you can't ground yourself. You're not able to. So you get that grounding from association with, you know,
So
you
the
can move.
devotees in Mira Road, they're saying, "Don't go, stay over here. Don't go, stay over here. Stay with us," and giving me a lot of affection, lot of caring, and a lot of encouragement to join the hospital and be with them. So I'm just thinking, is this a good idea?
It's not a good idea. It's the best idea that's come along in your whole life so far.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Guru Maharaj. That answers it. Okay.
And who did it get arranged by?
By Vishwarup Prabhu.
Who was a lifelong friend of yours. He knows you even before you were, you were a teenager. He knew you.
Right, right. Okay.
And
Thank you.
who else is there? Who else is there in your life? It's awesome.
Madhvananda. Both Madhvananda
Yeah.
and Vishwarup were medical college classmates.
Both of them are highly placed. They can help you in so many ways. And they're also wonderful devotees. Fixed
Yes,
in their
yes.
Krishna. When
Yes, Guru
Vishwarup
Maharaj.
spoke to me about this plan, I said, my God, all my anxiety is now gone. Thank you, Vishwarup. You saved Swamiji.
Thank you, Guru
And you're
Maharaj. Your
highly,
mercy is what made it all happen.
whatever, but stay with it and don't get antsy and start jumping around like a monkey.
Okay. Okay, Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much.
Accept whatever challenges you have in order to do what you're doing and work with that. Don't try to run away from them and do something different.
Okay. Thank you very much for the guidance.
I think that's a very important advice you gave, Guru Maharaj. It applies to, I think, so many of us, not only Mataji. Because we all have tendency to run away.
Okay.
There is a question in the chat by Sakshi Mataji on, I think, after Raj Prabhu's question is taking with that, what if devotee is still adamant and forces Krishna to provide their necessities? Does Krishna provide irrespective of his will?
No, you can't force Krishna to do anything. He does what he wants. Because forcing means he might act against your best interests, so he won't do that. Why would he act against your best interests? You may request that, and if he thinks it's going to be good for you, he'll give it to you. And you also have to qualify for that too. You can't just approach Krishna for things you want and expect him to give it to you. He's pleased by your devotional service and he reciprocates accordingly.
Thank you so much, Sonal Mataji.
The point is just try to please Krishna. Don't try to force him.
I hope that helps, Sakshi Mataji.
You won't get anywhere.
Yeah, she says thank you, Guru Maharaj. Sonal Mataji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Just to follow up on that. So my understanding or my experience is that once Krishna is pleased with your service, he will give you that happiness which is irrelevant of the material desires, so then the material desires themselves disappear because you are just happy without having those material things in the first place. Is that right?
I forgot to say that part, yes. There's two ways to fulfill material desires. One, you get something better and you give it up, or you actually fulfill it. So Krishna works on the first level. He gives you something better. Dhruva Maharaj wanted a kingdom greater than his father, greater than his grandfather, greater than his great-grandfather, who was Lord Brahma. There was no such kingdom available. And he performed so many austerities. And he was willing to do anything to get that kingdom. And the austerities he performed cannot be performed by anybody today. I mean, he was breathing once every other day, standing on one leg, meditating on the Lord in his mind on the different parts of the Lord, and chanting also at the same time internally, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And he did that for a long time. He became so powerful by his austerities that the Lord wasn't inclined to appear to him because he wanted something material. But the demigods were disturbed by Dhruva Maharaj's austerities because he became so powerful. He became the universal force by his austerity, and it was causing disturbance in the organization of their planets. So they said to the Lord, you got to do something about your devotee here. He's just shaking all our planets. We can't manage the universe. So the Lord appeared to Dhruva. When the Lord appeared to Dhruva, Dhruva immediately started to cry. And then he spoke that famous statement. No, he didn't speak it right away. He was stunned simply seeing the Lord. And he completely forgot why he was approaching the Lord. He was in ecstasy, stunned. And the Lord took his conch shell, touched it on his head. And as soon as he did, Dhruva started offering beautiful prayers. But one of the prayers that's not mentioned in the Bhagavatam, which was the essence of all the prayers, was, I have been chasing after broken pieces of glass, and now I have found the most rarest of all gems. So he compared chasing material desires, and these weren't small material desires, to broken pieces of glass. And who cares about broken pieces of glass? Nobody cares about it.
Mm.
And so, yeah, therefore, when he saw the Lord, that was all. That was it. And the Lord was so pleased by his prayers and his surrender that the Lord did give him a kingdom anyway. He gave him the highest kingdom in the material universe, the pole star, which is the planet by which Lord Vishnu stays, Svetadweep. On the island, there's an island on that planet called Svetadweep where Lord Vishnu, Kshirodakshai Vishnu, stays. So the Lord was so pleased with Dhruva's devotion that he gave him that desire that he wanted, although he gave it up when he saw the Lord. That pastime is really instructive. Lord Chaitanya, he loved that pastime. He would ask Gadadhar Pandit to read it over and over again, just to hear the pastime of Dhruva Maharaj, the pastime of Prahlad Maharaj, two 5-year-old boys who became great pure devotees. These were Lord Chaitanya's favorite pastimes. That's mentioned in Chaitanya Bhagavat. So when we get to the 4th canto, which will be maybe a couple of years from now, the way we're going, we'll enter into this pastime of Dhruva Maharaj. It's really, really, really instructive and very powerful pastime. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Sonal Mataji. Is there any more last minute questions, dear devotees? I can't see anything in chat.
Okay, so we should stop here.
Yeah, we've gone over an hour. So thank you, Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much, dear devotees, for joining. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, His Holiness Chandramauli Swami Maharaj ki jai.
Yeah. One request, Parijat, did you get my letter?
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj. Yes, Maharaj, I have responded to.
Oh, okay. I looked today and I haven't seen it yet. So
Yeah, I responded, Maharaj. It's there, and some other things are too. So
okay, good. I need some help in that area. Thank you.
yes, Maharaj, I understand.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Thank you, Guru.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Have a good day.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Mataji.
Thank you, dear devotees. Hare Krishna.